Let's just say you're an investor. You got $1 billion. You want to fly a rocket into space, and you're wondering who to give the money to that can do it cheaper, faster, better, more efficient. You got Elon Musk, SpaceX, and you got NASA, the U.S. government, taxes. Who would you rather give your $1 billion to? Wait till you see some of these statistics I'm going to give you on who did it cheaper, better, faster, with way less money on how this goes. And by the way, if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and stay to the end because I got another video I want you to watch. So now, SpaceX versus NASA. Who wins? Let me give you some data. When it comes down to SpaceX, when you hear the word Falcon, that's SpaceX. So Falcon 1, Falcon 9, that's SpaceX. They were looking at how much it would cost to fly a rocket into space. Well, if you gave that money to SpaceX, it would only take $300 million to fly Falcon 9 into space. Now, NASA was asked, how much would it cost you if we wanted to do the same thing to fly Falcon into space? You know what NASA said? And estimated. You ready for this number? Not 300, because that's what Elon says with Falcon 9. Not $500 million, not $1 billion. They said anywhere between $1.7 billion to $4 billion. Wait, how can Elon do it for 300 and you need 1.7 to 4 billion to get it done? It's kind of like saying the following. You go out there and hire somebody, say, listen, guys, I need you to move some of this stuff here from this building to my house because I'm moving. I'm moving from one apartment to another apartment, right? You go hire some local employees running a small business that's a moving business and say, how much will it take you to move this load? And they tell you, we'll give you an estimate. How much? It'll cost us about $5,000 to move all this 5-bedroom, this big house. $5,000. $5,000, yes. Then you go to another place that's run by the government to give you the exact comparison so you know how this thing works. You ask them, same amount of people, everything's the same, but they tell you, yeah, it'll take us around $25,000 to maybe $60,000. What would you say? That's the numbers. $5,000 versus $25,000 to $60,000. $300 million with Elon Musk, $1.7 to $4 billion. Now I said, let's go a little bit deeper. So the guys should give me some data on what it would look like and how accurate the government hits their budget versus how accurate NASA does versus how accurate SpaceX is. So let's look at this chart together and let's look at some case studies. And we can look at multiple cases. When you look at NASA, you see a number of cases at 118. When you look at SpaceX, you see a number of cases at 16, okay? When you look at average cost overrun, meaning if something costs $100, and that's what we're expecting the budget to be, if it's 10%, that means it ends up being done for $110, right? You ready for NASA? It's 90%, meaning if they project a budget of $1.7 billion, it's probably going to end up being $3.3 billion, give or take. So whatever number they give you, pretty much double it. Now watch SpaceX. You know what SpaceX is? If they take $300 million, it's going to be only 1.1% higher, which is $303 million. Can you imagine the difference? Imagine somebody come, how much is it going to take to build this house? I think we can build this house for $500,000. Okay, well, you guys were wrong. Yeah, we're so sorry. Instead of $500,000, it's going to cost us $505 to build it. Versus you go to this company called the government construction company, and they tell you, yeah, instead of $500,000, you know, Patrick, we're so sorry. After looking at it, it ended up costing us $950. But you said $500,000. I know, but it's $950. Do you see why people feel uncomfortable when the money's given to taxes to see what they do with it? Now watch this. Wait for this last one here. The last one is frequency of projects that end up costing, meaning that you have to pay more for it. 9 out of 10 times with NASA, the projects end up costing the overrun, which is you're going to pay the 90%. And with SpaceX, it's only 5 out of 10. So again, going back to my question, if you had $1 billion to choose between the two, who would you give your money to? This is where the conversation becomes, the more we raise taxes and we tax people to give it to the government to choose to do something with that money, and then you just compare a SpaceX versus NASA, the more you give the money to free market, innovators and disruptors will 9 out of 10 times do a better job at it than somebody else that you're paying the taxes to. Of course, we have to have public school. Of course, we have to have certain things that we got to pay for. But some of these types of things, when an Elon Musk goes out there and exposes a NASA that's been around for God knows how many years, and SpaceX has only been around for a few years, it gets you to start thinking, maybe entrepreneurs do it better. If you agree with me, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And I got a video I want you to watch that I shot maybe 5 years ago, why I love capitalism. Whether you agree with me or not, I can't wait to watch that and tell me whether you agree with me or not on why this immigrant who came here from Iran to Germany out of refugee camp to U.S., why I love capitalism. I want to hear your thoughts. once you watch that video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.